Hi and welcome to all the racing enthusiasts around the globe who are joining us for this pre-recorded show, and this is for the race meeting on Friday, which will take place at Fairview. Lovely to have Grant Paddock on the line, the resident expert, and we're going to greet him in a moment, see how he's doing, and he's going to tell us what he thinks of the card. So Grant, firstly, how are you doing? And then secondly, tell us about the card.
Morning, Sheldon. Morning, punters. Yeah, all good down here this side. No complaints. Weather's been pretty good. The card is not bad. It starts off not too difficult, and then there's one or two races later on that do get very tricky. But hopefully we can find our way through it and put the punters on the right line.
Let's get straight into the action with race number 1, where the punters will be looking to throw confetti in the first race.
Yeah, 100%. Confetti looks like the right horse, Sheldon. Very good introduction to racing. Very green first time out, green on the turn on the poly, and ran on when the race was over. 1,200 meters, grass straight, extra furlong. I think this race is set up for a very, very weak race. The rest of them will be shouting for place check. So Confetti very strong. I've tipped it 8-1, 7 and 2. Banker Confetti in the bipot and the start of the multiples for the day.
We'll then move on to race number 2 and having a glance at the anti-post betting, where you have the top 3 horses in your bipot. Number 1, Lady Luck, that is your current 5-2 favourite. Number 7, Catch Your Breath, from 7-2 has gone 9-2. And then looking at number 2, Fanny Kemble, that has shortened 11-2, and a little bit of money around for number 10, Vintage Crystal. Let's kick off with number 1, Lady Luck. Kone offer for the Andre Nel stable. They had a tremendous day the other day in the Cape.
Yeah, his yard is definitely in very, very good form. I think he's brought the right kind of horses to P, and I think he's going to have a very, very good day, Sheldon. This filly's been running off decent horses in Cape Town. The last form line was very, very strong. I think she'll take a power of beating in a weak maiden field here. The dangers definitely Catch Your Breath. Richard Poree factor for Alan Creer. Very good introduction to racing here as well, over 1,000. The 12 will suit the extra furlong. She ran on very nicely. She's definitely the biggest dangers to Lady Luck. And then this horse Fanny Kemble as well. Very good first run here. Can only improve off it. To me, drawn on the right side of the course at 1. And for larger players, the 5-star Magic, the 8 horse. But I think Andre Nell's going to kick off his trip in this race, and I tip Lady Luck to beat Catch Your Breath.
That'll take us on to race number 3, and when it comes to race number 3, the betting tells the tale. Number 1, King of the Queen, Craig Zaki for Gavin Smith. The 3-year-old gelding is your current 6-10 favourite. Number 2, Resurgence from the Kelly Mitchley stable, Samanga Kamalo. That is currently priced up at 4-1, and then it's 5-1 and better the rest. You've just gone with the 2 runners in your bipot, King of Queen and number 2, Resurgence. So you can give us some input on Resurgence. How's this runner doing?
Yeah, Sheldon doing very, very well back home. His work has been phenomenal, been very good. Second run after a layoff is definitely a concern. At least for me, maybe the stable not. But his work is top class. He's come on big time. He needed his last ride. Only just needed it as well after going flat out in that work riders. And we'll see how that form line stands up in the previous race with Catch Your Breath. King of Queen, obviously, he looks like the right horse in the race. It's an extremely shallow field. A little bit of respect there for Captain Efficiency, and by the light of the moon, got a breathing issue, so she'll probably run in the trifecta's back end of quartets. But I think the top 2 in the betting will run 1-2, Sheldon.
Right, that'll take us on to the next race, and looking at the next leg, yeah, you will be taking no chances, and you've added a couple of runners.
Yeah, I've gone 5, 8 and an 11 over here, Sheldon. Yeah, I think Axel's definitely the right horse. I see there's early money for him. He's got solid Cape Town form. So this is actually quite a weak merit rated 90, to be very honest. A lot of these horses are low down in the weights and trying to improve, and others are looking to find a little bit of form, these top weights, the first 5 or 6 in the race. But Axel definitely found the right race. I think he's going to be a hard horse to beat, and another one of those Nell horses that if they've travelled well, they're going to be big runners. Siberian Steel from the Creef yard. I know he has got issues at the pens. I'm sure Alan has done a bit of work on him. He'll be there and thereabouts, no doubt. He won a good race in his penultimate. I don't think it's the same as the actual Cape Town form. Miranda's got a nice low weight and he's a galloper. He'll be there and thereabouts, and so too is Vegas Gold. So I'm quite strong on Axel here, and I think they'll run 5, 11, 8, and 13.
That'll take us on to the next event, and looking at the next event here, you've also gone with a couple of runners in this contest here. So once again, try and guide us in the right direction. It doesn't look to be the easiest of races.
No, Sheldon, this is one of those very, very tricky fillies and mares races. The form horse here, Lady Writer, probably needs it a touch further, but fortunately it is on the grass with the long straight, so she'll be there and thereabouts. My value bet in this race comes on the day in number 9, Kitty Mo. She's been drawn out very, very badly, and now with a good draw, decent jock up, I think she's definitely very good value at 16 to 1. Out of dimension, the first time they put her over the mile on the poly, she won as she wanted to in a very, very weak maiden field, but I do feel she can improve. Concern there, 61 kilos, merit rated her at 74 out of the maidens, is a little bit heavy. I've gone 8, 9, 4, and 12 here, Sheldon, and hopefully the Michelin I can put one in the winner's box here.
Now, if you look at this event, and there's a horse called Time for Glory number 2. I know this individual has been exceptionally disappointing. I've been waiting for this horse to come down to the right rating and find the right race. Unfortunately, the recent form, not really inspiring, but hasn't been beaten all that far. Maybe one for the pick 6 players out there?
Yeah, well, it's a pick 6 race where you really have to go as wide as your budget can. You know, Time for Glory has been disappointing. They ran fourth 2 runs back over the poly mile, drawn out at 10 over the mile, and listen, she's got to show some form now. She's down to this class, MR68. She has to start showing form now. Otherwise, you know, maybe another career.
Right, that'll take us on to race number 6. And looking at race number 6, the current betting has number 1, Cherry Anu at 22 to 10. Number 8, Brendan James from the Kelly Mitchley stable from 6 to 1 is shortened 5 to 1. Number 5, Inherit the Rain is 11 to 2. And number 2, Bush Tracker with number 3, Smorgasbord, they are priced up at 7 to 1. Looking at race number 6, you're going with number 1, Cherry Anu for the Gavin Smith stable, 61 kilograms, Kelvin Abib, and you've also thrown in number 8, Brendan James with Samanga aboard.
Yeah, I actually prefer Brendan James over the 1400. He's been campaigning over further in races that were not really suited to him. He's now in the perfect race. I think he's well in at the weight. He's going to give Cherry Anu a very, very good run for his money, especially over the 1400. It's definitely his best trip, there's no doubt. Cherry Anu also a big runner. He likes to get up there. Could be a touch on the sharp side for him. And then the lurker in this race is this horse Smorgasbord with Gavin Lorino on. He ran on very nicely last time out over the poly 12. He'll be happy to be back on the grass, and especially over the 1400 meters. And Bush Tracker doesn't know how to run a bad race. So I like Brendan James to win this race. I think he'll beat Cherry Anu, 3 Smorgasbord and 2 Bush Tracker.
Next hurdle will be race number 7, and looking at race number 7, the off time is 15:55, so that's the time that all the punters will need to have their bets locked and loaded. Richard Ferrie and Alan Greef with the 3-year-old filly, 16 to 10, number 10, 3 Rocks. Number 11, Candy Town is 9 to 2. Number 2, Gimmy's Lassie is 11 to 2. And a little bit of money for number 12, Golden Pacific at 10 to 1. So just looking at race number 7, what do you make of number 10, 3 Rocks firstly? And then which would be your first selection?
Yeah, Sheldon, this is where it becomes extremely difficult. You know, this is going to be a very, very fast run for 5 furlong. There's a couple of really quick fillies here, the likes of Tipsy Tina and as well as Paris Lass. There's fillies that can really get along. 1,200, 1,000 meters, 3 Rocks might be a little bit on the quick side for her, but she'll be finishing off the race well. She's very well in off 109, 59 and a half kilos. There's been a bit of talk for this horse, number 5, Mythical Dream as well, from the Gavin Smith yard with Lorena up. And that's got fairly decent form as well, but a very quick race. Candy Town has got to be a massive runner as well from the Andre Nell yard, and I really think Andre's going to have a top day tomorrow. I'm hoping that 3 Rocks can win a race like this. Candy Town, definitely the biggest danger. Mythical Dream and Gimmy's Lassie to fill up the quartets. But once again, the punters need to go as wide as possible here in the pick six to get through this leg. Could be very, very tricky.
Then when it comes to race number 8, which they usually call the Get Out Stakes, if you are in a little bit of trouble, race number 8, I'm afraid it does not get any easier. You can throw a blanket over this field, and when I looked at the runners, the riders and the betting, they're betting 3-1 the field with number 8, The Lady Love, Richard Fourie and Alan Greer for 3-1. Number 9, Jade's Cabernet is 4-1, and then it's 5-1 and better the rest. Grant, what do you make of race number 8? If you were looking to play a swinger, exacta, quartet, what would be the bet you'd be looking to go in race number 8, judged on the open nature of this race?
Yeah, 100%, Sheldon. I think they'll jump probably 5-1 the field, if not slightly bigger. Very, very open race. The handicap has probably got them in a straight line here, and you're going to have to be very, very careful. The quartet, definitely the bet to play. 2 roving bankers with a couple of horses. Jade's Cabernet is holding lovely form at the moment, and she's really in a good space. She's got to be one of the roving bankers. And then a horse like Ella's Delight, I was very happy with the way she ran on last time out, and I see she's at 8-1. She could probably be the other roving banker. So I'd probably rove the 3 and the 8 and add in a couple of horses, being the 2 Kilmoney Vague, the 5 Fairy Trip, the 8 the Lady Love, and maybe the 10 Magical River. Those 2 roving bankers. I've tipped it 8, 9, 3 and 5, and I'm hoping that we can end off with a winning bet in the last.
Well, I'm just going to add a little bit of sunshine and give my 2 cents worth. I'm looking for the sunshine. Number 1, Miami Beach at around 14-1. Is this a horse that could perhaps lurk into the quartets or a bit of an each-way play? Looking at the open nature of the race, I just got a funny feeling that number 1, Miami Beach, might be able to cause a bit of a stir here.
Yeah, 100%, Sheldon. It's one of those fillies you have to watch her go down. She can be a bit crabby sometimes, but she goes down well. She's got to be a runner. She's got an apprentice on. I don't know where this guy comes from, but he's got an apprentice on, so with a fall off the back, maybe she can run into that 3rd, 4th position. But it's one of those races, anything can happen in this race.
The apprentice's name is Rashid. He came up to the commentary box yesterday and he came through to meet me. He had the 1 rider on the day. He came here 5 years ago and he only had the winner at Scottsville. He had 1 winner at Scottsville 5 years ago, so he's back 5 years later, and maybe the sun will shine on Miami Beach and this apprentice Rashid. But once again, thanks very much, Grant. We're going to bring up your suggested bets for the day in a very competitive lineup. Take us through it, please.
Thank you, Sheldon. Best bet, race 1, number 8, Confetti. My value bet, race 5, number 9, Kitty Mo. And my suggested bet, the bipod, goes as follows. We open up with a banker of 8 by 1, 2 and 7, by 1 and 2, by 5, 8, 11, by 4, 8 and 9, by 1 and 8 for 108 Rand.
Super. Thanks very much to Grant Paddock. Each and every week, the resident expert. He goes through the form. He's got his ear close to the ground, and he gives us the information for you, the punter out there, that we need. So thanks very much, Grant, and hopefully you have a wonderful day's racing.
Thank you very much, Sheldon, and good luck to those punters tomorrow. Goodbye.
Well, there you heard it. Good luck to all the punters out there, and may your runners end up in the winner's enclosure.